We were inundated with a bunch of crap bills coming in from Congress this week. We'll break it down for you. You're not going to like this one, guys, but we're going to do it anyway. And of course, I want to thank our sponsor, and that is Tangem. You guys can use our code to get 10% off and start your self-custody journey. It's very easy. And right now, with what's happening in D.C., self-custody, do it. Get going right now on self-custody. This is a big thing because you can start to secure your assets over there, and very easy, 3 minutes to set one of these things up. It's a card. It works with your phone, both Android, iOS, doesn't matter. Use it. Use our link. It does cap the stack the bonuses that you get. So get going down below. All right, you guys know that we have been talking about this for quite some time. And one video that we did that I want to highlight on was this one right here. It was the bull market catalyst. These were the things that would have to happen for a bull market to start. One of them, a key one, was Congress needed to play ball. The problem is what we are starting to see now coming out of D.C. is absolute horror. It's a horror film. It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And that is the Senate Republicans set to put the Cassidy Crapo, this is actually the last name, health proposal up for a vote. This did not end well. So I want to go to this first clip to kind of break this down for you. Take a look.
You're not going to see a doubling in your premiums. You're going to see a tripling or quadrupling. People are going to be spending 40, 50% of their incomes on health care. That is insane. Are they prepared for it? No, of course they're not prepared for it. It's a disaster.
Is letting those subsidies expire acceptable to you, and should Americans...
What I want on health care is very simple. Ready? What I want to do, very simple, I want to give the money to the people.
Yeah, but he's a fraud. Yeah, that's what he says. Then what's the answer?
I'm giving them money. I want to give the money to the people. You know that works really well, right? It works like magic.
He's talking about giving people $1,000 or $2,000.
Reducing premiums by over 10%. I'll repeat that. Our plan will reduce premiums by 10%.
He's talking about getting people into the so-called bronze plan with huge deductibles. You know, if you end up in a hospital, you're going to spend several $100,000. Rather embarrassingly, Republicans had nothing significant to say about health care.
All right, so to the point there, Senate GOP health care plan also fails on party line vote as well. So this is an issue that where Trump may be trying to give money back to the people, but it doesn't work either way. So basically, we have a loss right now when it comes to the health care side of things. With all that being said, I've got a clip here. This is the Problem Solvers Caucus that says they're going to come to the rescue with a bipartisan bill. Listen to what they have to say.
They co-chair the Problem Solvers Caucus. Earlier this week, they introduced the Bipartisan Health Care Insurance Affordability Act. Good morning. Where do you think your colleagues are, though, on this issue right now?
So where they're at versus where they're willing to vote are two different questions, unfortunately, sometimes.
Have you spoken to the White House about this bill yet?
Yeah, we've kept them in the loop. You know, they actually issued their own proposal that was leaked out and then pulled back.
Can you explain what your bill does?
We've got a compromise here, and there's some other compromises out there. We're signing on to all kinds of different ideas. Let's just do something to actually help people and solve this problem.
Gentlemen, I don't know if we had a little bit of an audio issue.
These guys are idiots. Yes, they're idiots. They solve no problems. And of course, this is going to continue to be an issue in healthcare. If this goes through, if we start to see the acceleration of these subsidies, this is absolutely going to wreck the economy. It's going to wreck the markets. We are going to see mayhem going forward. All of this is getting ready to also blend into something else that's not so good, and that is, guess what? Another government shutdown is looming, possibly by January 31st. Now, granted, this holds at least where we're at right now, but still, my gosh, we're nearing almost 40%. It spiked to 40%. But the key here is it's going up on Polymarket. Not a good sign if we get into another government shutdown. This will only cause things to get worse, I think, in general for the investing community, but more importantly for the United States, because now we've got the Grinch coming into it. And whether or not we end up with even more tariffs before Christmas. Take a look at this one.
When you think of what I've done, remember rare earth and the problem with magnets and all of these things that was going to shut down the whole world? I've made a fortune for the United States. You're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars. I've made trillions and trillions of dollars on that one trip. $3 trillion, 18 trillion because of tariffs. $18 trillion is coming into our country. I've made a fortune and spend very little time. Just remember, when we had a problem with China very recently, I was able to work that out. But
So would you rule out reducing tariffs on any more goods?
on some, and on some I'll increase tariffs.
People are buying their holiday presents. They're planning
Look,
for...
don't be dramatic.
No.
Don't be dramatic.
I wonder what grade you would give
A
your
plus.
economy. A plus.
Yeah, A plus, 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 plus.
Well, it's...
God help us if we ever get to a B or a C.
With all these trillions and trillions of dollars of plus economy, why are we not seeing that at the level for the people right now? Whether we see that in tax rebates, whether we see that in some sort of stimulus, something that would start to jettison the economy in the right position. This is not good, guys. This is not good. And it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better. Further into this, of course, I got to go over to the Doge issue because, of course, we're dealing with that. Now, remember that. We were going to cut $1 trillion off the deficit. That didn't work. People believed it, though. People believed it. Yeah, because just Trump said it was going to happen, but it didn't happen. And then Elon turned tail and went back to building Starlink. All right, so maybe even though the Doge stimulus is off, maybe there's going to be a crypto stimulus in some way. And of course, right here, you've got an issue with, of course, what's happening in D.C. All these banks, all these banks will meet with senators to discuss curbing interest rates and payments by affiliates or stablecoin issuers. This is one of the problems that we see in the Clarity Act right now, where they're trying to double dip here on the Clarity Act after passing the Genius Act. Moving forward, I have another clip for you. This one, of course, goes into detail around what is happening in D.C. right now by Eleanor. Take a look.
A lot of the frustration has come from sort of the House and also proponents in the crypto industry who saw the Clarity Act and said, this is a good bill, let's just pass this bill. People saying, well, why can't we just get this passed by the Senate? Why does the Senate have to kind of finagle all this? And why can't we just pass as is? But that's what we've been seeing. And where we stand right now is we're coming down to the wire. We've got this next couple days in Congress. We've got next week in Congress before they all go home for Christmas break. And we're trying to get a markup done. There could be a markup in Senate banking, hopefully next Thursday. They all leave for Christmas break on Thursday. But Democrats and Republicans they still haven't agreed on a text yet.
All right, so I'm just going to tell you right now, they're checked out, guys. They're not going to agree on it. It's not coming before Christmas. It's not even a markup is coming. And if they do, it could possibly be this thing called the nice version. This is an example of it right here. By persons familiar with this, it's the nice version. And the nice version, when you click this open, I want to highlight a couple of things. They are going back in as agreed. Key words here, as agreed on bipartisan basis in the Genius Act, where we would do this, we would get offering interest or yield by stablecoin issuers. Basically, they were trying to negotiate in the Genius Act so that they could change shit later. This is falling apart quickly in D.C. I'm sure quite a few of the crypto crew are on their way to D.C. right now. Matt Hogan kind of hit it right here on the head. Banning stablecoins from paying interest is like banning cars from going faster than horses. No doubt, Matt. I agree with that. All right, when you look at this, Dems think they can find another way to permit yield. If you look down into the articles here, it says Democrats believe that Congress can find solutions that issue to protect banking systems, still permitting rewards and incentives. The working group believes also closing loopholes is a bipartisan issue. Another problem with a wide coalition of bankers that are right here at the front of this. So basically what they're talking about is figuring out how to give you bonuses and rewards, which basically boils down to maybe toasters, I guess, or I don't know what they would give you. But the point is they're going to be taking away or trying to take away yield out there. And this isn't just happening away from D.C. Now you got Coinbase over here doing this stuff where you don't get a yield now unless you pay for Coinbase One. Come on, Coinbase. Let's get this together. Drop this right now. I think you just have to do it. Just get it out of here. But right now, you got to pay $60 to get your 3.5% APY. So that's a banking tactic overall. Remember, Robinhood's getting ready to launch their banking app. I don't know if that's going to happen. I got the note this morning from Robinhood saying, yes, it's going to happen. Vlad needs to get this going. Hopefully, he'll be paying yields without the additional fees over there. Trump, of course, is going to rain tax refunds on America, record-breaking tax refunds hitting Americans in 26, saying around $2,000 per household. I don't know. Do you think this will even happen, or is it another Doge stimulus facade, or is it one of those situations right now where will this even affect the market in general? I don't know. I don't know if I can believe this administration. I don't know if I can believe anything that's going on in D.C. right now with the amount of crapo bills that are funneling through D.C. right now at the end of the year. It's getting ridiculous. One big, beautiful sports bill. It doesn't end, guys. It doesn't end. Now you've got one coming after the gamblers. I mean, let's go.
A new tax rule in President Trump's big, beautiful bill is getting attention from gamblers. Under the law, gamblers will only be able to deduct 90% of their losses.
It's probably going to affect a handful of bettors.
And that got a lot of people up in arms.
We had 1 million responses. Now, I've never had 1 million responses. I've gone viral. So many people have called and texted and tweeted about it being a bad idea that they're getting on board my bill, the Fair Bet Act, to try to just take that out of the provisions. So they were looking everywhere they could find little pots of money to help offset their tax breaks for the wealthy. And they estimated that this would bring in $1 billion.
People are going to go back out to those offshore sites maybe.
Well, that's right. And that doesn't help the community.
You're going to see revenues drop. You're going to see tourism drop. You're going to see jobs lost. If you want taxes on money we made, that's fine. But if you want taxes on money we didn't, I have a serious problem with that. And it's wrong to do that to our community.
All right, so as you can see, this is continuing to dump on the market. The big, beautiful bill is figuring out ways to pull in more from so many different other places. Here's Trump on trying to remove gambling taxes. Take a look.
Would you ever consider no tax on gambling? No tax on gambling? I don't know about that. I'm going to have to think about that. I think it's better to go up and maybe take our seats. It's a pretty rough flight. Bye, everybody. I better get out of here.
This is a clown show. I don't think relief is coming for the gambling markets. This is a problem because it starts to affect some of these growing and burgeoning industries. And I think, yes, it's going to push a lot of this stuff back offshore, which is exactly the opposite of what we should be doing. Now, you got to consider what's happening with the Clarity Act. It looks like we are in destruction mode right now with the bankers winning on the bankers lobby versus crypto. I don't know what happened. Did the crypto lobby go to sleep here or what? But the issue is going to boil down to whether or not Trump will sign the bill. Take a look.
Obviously, this bill has to be signed by President Trump at the end of the day, right? So when you have the ethics language in there that the Democrats want to get through, President Trump's not going to sign something that says, I can no longer sell my meme coin, or I can no longer get World Liberty things done that my sons want to take part in. It's very complicated, guys.
All right, so I have one more clip here. This is why Trump might actually change his mind on the gambling tax. Take a look. Fuck. I'm going to go vomit in my coffee. I'll let Johnny respond to that one. I'll just let you guys read that so I don't have to. We'll go on. Moving on. So, well, let's don't stop the pain here. Let's go over to Ken Griffin. He, of course, Citadel Security, jumping through with a recommendation. The recommendation is, hey, let's identify intermediaries that would be involved in trading of tokenized U.S. equities, including via so-called decentralized trading protocols, and let's lock them down, Mr. SEC. So again, more trouble coming in from the guys that want to hold on to being able to control the financial system out there, and we know who those are. Here was Hayden Adams kind of hitting on this, of course, being Uniswap. And he gets into it around Ken Griffin. Nerve of one of their arguments is to be that there is no way for DeFi protocols to provide fair access. That's crazy. Makes sense since the king of shady TradFi markets, that's, of course, who he's talking about, doesn't like open source, peer-to-peer tech that can lower the barrier to liquidity creation. These are the things that DeFi does, and this is exactly what the traditional finance companies want to take away from DeFi because it does solve problems out there. And this is a big issue overall. Senator Booker comes in and says, hey, wait a minute. All this should be a deal breaker. All of this. We can't criminalize people who write code, for crying out loud. Thank goodness for that. All right, to conclude, this is the most hated bill in America, and that is this defense spending bill. And they just passed it overwhelmingly to put another $900 billion. You know, they didn't want to put that an extra $100 billion on there because it is a $1 trillion defense bill going into the Pentagon and other agencies. So remember, we were promised that there would be no CBDC language in these bills. Well, that promise has now been broken. CBDC, of course, you guys know, it's the ultimate tool for surveillance out of governments. And we had to demand better. I think the issue is that the fight is now on with a must-pass bill to ensure that CBDCs never see the light of day. This is a big, big deal that right now is currently on the chopping block there in D.C. One last thing. This, of course, is Howard Lutnick saying, hey, don't worry about it. We good. Take a look.
There's no fears. There's nothing happening that are horrible. There is no inflation in the country. You know, things are coming down. These people are too afraid. Jay Powell is too late, but maybe he should be called too afraid. Instead, we're always leaning back as if something bad is happening. We are doing great. Nothing bad is happening. Greatness.
So, hey, Mr.
Up-Sember, Tom, I love you, but I think we are down for Dump-Sember is ahead of us right now with all this mess that's going on in D.C. Listen, guys, we're going to cover this as much as we can before I have to go vomit. Make sure and subscribe. Do that. Follow me on X, @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on The Paul Barron Show.